I'd like to thank you all for showing up today. I've met a lot of you. A lot of you are new faces to me. I tried to come around last year and introduce myself. I've met a whole lot of the custodians, the grounds crew. I tried to make myself as visible as possible when visiting your school. Thank you all for showing up. I'd like to just take this time to introduce myself. Through this PowerPoint, I'd like to show you my vision for this school, as well as let you know a little bit about me and my family. So if you please pay attention, there'll be a lot of pictures of my wife and my son and some things that I'm involved in. If you notice, we have a new school motto, and it's going to be high expectations and no excuses. We'd like to lay this down from the very beginning, from the first day that the students show up, set the expectations high, and I really believe if we keep it there all year long, if we don't back down, we will see some success. Some of these things that we're having problems with, test scores and things like that, I believe will be helped if we will all stand firm on this new school motto. If you would, please take one of the index cards that's underneath your seats. There should be pens laying around. I want you to do something. I want you to write down something about last year that you did not like that you would like to see change. Just write down anything. It could be something about your students, something about your classroom, something about the principals, something about the school in general. Write down something that you didn't like about last year. My vision for this school is to have teachers that enjoy showing up, that enjoy teaching. I'd like to give you the tools that it takes for you to be successful. Also, part of my vision is having students that enjoy showing up. They're not going to enjoy showing up. They're not going to enjoy coming to your class unless you have a vision for yourself, your classroom, and unless you have a vision for them. So when you're writing down on that card what it is about last year you didn't enjoy and what it is you want to change, you need to ask yourself if you have done anything to put yourself in a place to improve upon that. If there's something that you constantly gripe about year in and year out, and we're not learning from the situation and trying to move forward, then there's no point in even talking about it. So it's my job to try and help y'all as much as possible to solve these problems. That's a picture of my son right there, and I just thought it was fitting because it looks like he's having a vision. Here's one more picture. That's my wife on the left. Her name is Kayla. My son's name is Luke. He's 3.5, and we're expecting our second anytime. Um, so one of my things is that I want all of our teachers and even myself to know your roots. If you look at the picture, a lot of classrooms typically look like this. I'm not going to lie, my first year teaching, a lot of classes were like this. I can remember periods in particular. Um, you know, if your classroom currently looks like this, but this is your vision of your classroom, we might need to discuss that. As you look at this picture, it may look like this is a model classroom, but if you notice the student covering his face and some of the people just looking up, but they may not necessarily be engaged. So when we talk about engagement, trying to hook the class, uh, if you looked at this picture right here, you would say that these people are engaged. Yet this is chaos. This is a Black Friday, as y'all seen before. But these people are engaged. These people are eager. So sometimes an engaged classroom might look a little chaotic. It might look a little bit crazy. Um, Speaking about roots, this class, this school and your classroom, maybe they are rough looking right now. This is a pickup truck that I have restored recently. This is a 1981 truck, and that's my father standing next to it. And if you look at it right now, a lot of people say there's not a lot of potential in that truck. The same as in some classrooms. The next one, this is when we were working on it. This is when it was going through the fire. This is when it was being tested, and I was trying to improve it. And over some time, and over some new strategies, and over some help, it finally ends up looking like this. And your classroom is kind of the same thing. So it's my job to help you find strategies that work for you and that work for your classroom so that they can end up looking like this. By the way, here's one more picture. This is me and my son and my father. And anytime you see me outside of the school, I'll probably be looking either like myself in this picture wearing a t-shirt and shorts, or even like my father, I wear overalls a whole lot. So, don't forget your roots. I don't want anybody here to forget why they got into teaching and what they love about it. And for those that are starting to lose that initial flame, I want to see if we can rekindle that. One of my other things is we're all in this together. Um, I need your feedback. I'll often do note cards to let me know during meetings and other times. There's a box outside my office that if there's anything you need help with, go ahead and write on that card. Give me as much feedback as possible. It's my job to help you or to find somebody, an instructional coach or a mentor teacher, something like that that can help you. We're going to be introducing something new this year. It's called PLC. For those that have never done PLC, it's called a public learning community. Where I came from, we initiated these a couple years ago, and what it is it's a time we'll all have a common core conferences, and it's a time, number one, for you to all meet together. You can decide about within your department what it is you want to do in terms of grading, testing, things like that. But more than that, it's a time for teachers to share. It is most beneficial, and PLC works best when the teachers get comfortable with each other. So we'll start off by having some meals, getting together, getting to know each other. But PLC, if we're going to be in this together and one person in the English department has a really good lesson for a certain topic, well, then they need to share that with everybody in their group. We want to use the most successful strategies possible. We don't want to recreate the wheel. We don't want brand new teachers to not have anything. So we want to share with them as much as possible. And the PLC is one way to do this. It was really great in my school. We made videos and we shared those with each other for students that missed. I taught chemistry for the past 7 years before coming here, and it really helped if a student had missed a lab, if they could go online and watch a video to make that up. And so in PLC, we made those videos. If another teacher made a video outside of class, they would share it with the others. And really, it is just a learning community. It's a way for us to learn from each other, to learn the best strategies, because what you have in your back pocket to teach a certain topic may not necessarily be the best. So if we can glean and from each other and learn from each other, that'll really be beneficial. You're probably wondering why the Burger King logo is on there. Does anybody remember the saying that Burger King has? Yeah, it is. It's have it your way. And that's one of the things we want to do with staff development this year. We want to try and provide you the opportunity to have it your way. Nobody knows what you need better than yourself. So we want you to have choices. Instead of showing up and just listening to a speaker for several hours, we're going to have some rotations that you'll sign in at, and it will be your choice as to where to go. For instance, if anybody's ever heard of Kagan, there's a lot of good strategies in a book written by Kagan. There's going to be rotations over ideas for warm-ups, for transitions, how to engage students, how to get feedback, how to do formative assessments. If you're finding out that your students don't know a certain topic and you're only using the summative assessment, well, by that time they've already failed. So we want some tactics to give feedback to the students and to learn where they're at before they end up failing the test. One of my biggest policies is if you'll take care of the little things, then the big things will take care of themselves. And if you look at Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan didn't start off a great basketball player, but he focused on his dribbling, he focused on his shooting, he focused on his ball handling skills. He drilled those things, and he focused on the little day in and day out things, and he ends up getting several NBA championships, voted most valuable player, etc. from that. So if we will just focus on little things, if we'll focus on engaging our students, if we'll focus on providing them with feedback, if we'll focus with the little things every day, the bigger things like test scores, campus involvement and things like that, those will take care of themselves. Finally, we got to take responsibility for our classrooms, and I'm going to take responsibility for y'all. I have y'all's backs no matter what. You also have to make the right decisions. So we're going to take responsibility. If our classroom is griping that they don't necessarily like the class, we need to take responsibility. We need to look at what it is that we can do better to engage those students, to get them to enjoy our class. My ultimate vision is for you to enjoy showing up and for the kids to do the same, for them to enjoy coming to your classroom. I taught chemistry and I know what it is. If you don't know, chemistry is the evil love child of algebra and science. And there are days that we came in and I had to tell my kids, today we are drilling the math and chemistry. But I always tried to bring it back to how they could apply it, to how they could see that in the real world. So, we want to take as much responsibility as possible for ourselves, for our classes, for our students. I want y'all to get to know your students, to use their first names, and try and do that within the first 6 weeks instead of within the first semester. So, um, once again, I appreciate y'all all being here, and I'm looking forward to this year. And I enjoy working with y'all so far, and I can't wait to get started. Thank you.